Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 210 of the Atom Radio Best Bits podcast. 210, not quite as exciting as the late great Ted Rogers and 321. And I could never do the thing that he did with the hand. I wonder how long it took him to do that. In this week's Best Bits, however, we have got strangeness of the calendar. We've got kitchen calamities, further food ordering problems as well. How you can get out of an unwanted conversation. We've got diet tips as well, just in case you're wondering. They don't make them like they used to. And a brilliant answer from Mick as well. We've got rationing and using AI to your advantage on the way.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
6:14, streaming from Slough, loud across the net. This is Mark Denholm at breakfast, morning. And welcome to Monday the 20th of February. There's only 8 days left in February, given that this is not a leap year. Next year is the leap year. And the extra day, do you know what? My son asked me about leap years yesterday. I was just thinking, who decided when they were doing a calendar that we should actually have a leap year and 1 year every 4 years should be longer by a day than any other year? They have a leap second as well, don't they? I don't get whoever decided about that, if I'm honest, and what difference a second makes. And over the course of time, what difference does a day make?
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
In the UK, we have Crufts, which is a very, very seriously taken dog show. Best of breed and all that, and obedience and all sorts. Well, in Brazil, they do it slightly differently, and they have a dog carnival where dogs get to wear costumes.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
8:06 it is right now, and today we're talking about culinary disasters after some students fancying a cheese toastie managed to set their kitchen on fire. They used an ordinary toaster and put it on its side rather than putting it normally up, which you would do if you were just toasting the bread. They decided that they could make a cheese toastie by putting the toaster on its side, putting the bread in and the cheese, turning it on, leaving it unattended. Needless to say, a fire starts and the fire brigade are called out and forced to issue a warning to use kitchen utensils and instruments as they are intended, and saying that toasters are not designed to be used sideways. I want to know today, what has been your worst culinary disaster? On air at atomradio.co.uk. Morning, Ian. We've all done the ready meals thing, Ian. Ian says that he bought a ready meal after doing a late night at work. He decided that he would grab a ready meal on the way home, got home and then read it where it said remove outer packaging. He took it out the cardboard and removed the cling film on it, put it in the oven at the designated temperature. It says place on a baking tray in the centre of an oven at 220 degrees and cook for 25 minutes. So Ian did just that, set a timer, came back in 25 minutes to find that the outer packaging was actually the thing that the food was in. You were clearly expected to take the food out and put it onto the baking tray that way. What had actually happened was that the packaging, which was around the shepherd's pie, it was actually, I quite like a shepherd's pie, although I prefer cottage pie, just in case you're wondering. But anyway, the packaging around the shepherd's pie had melted whilst cooking away in the oven, and therefore Ian ended up having to go back out and get himself a takeaway rather than having the shepherd's pie that he bought for himself. Ah, well, Ian, we live and learn, my friend. We live and learn. I'm sure you're not the only person to do that.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Streaming from Slough, loud across the net. This is Mark Denholm at breakfast morning. It is Tuesday and it's 7:23. Mentioned this earlier on. A dad has ranted and raved. He went to McDonald's and he ordered 2 McFlurries and a milkshake. He had to wait 8 minutes to get 2 McFlurries and a milkshake, which is basically just somebody putting a McFlurry cup under a machine and pulling the thing twice, and somebody putting a milkshake cup under a machine and pushing a button, right? That's it. No way should that take 8 minutes. He says, however, that he was stuck behind a line of delivery riders from Deliveroo and Uber Eats and Just Eat who picked up food before him. And that does happen, because I take my son to McDonald's usually on the Farnham Road after school on a Friday. We'll go there and you go to the little window thing and you place your order in there, and it gives you a receipt and your order number. But you can never, ever, ever, ever get anywhere near the collection point because the Deliveroo, Uber Eats and Just Eat riders have got there and they've laid their bags out, and then they just stand guarding their bags, so you can't get anywhere near where it is that you need to be to collect your order. And that transitioned obviously during lockdown, when it was takeaway only, and those services really kicked off during lockdown, when you could just go online on the app and you could order whatever you wanted and it would arrive. And that was all good back in lockdown, but the problem is they've not thought about it, because then you were collecting from empty restaurants. Now that all the restrictions are gone, they've not thought about it, and these collection riders for the delivery services, they're all going to the collection points, and it does happen in McDonald's and other places as well, meaning you can't get your food.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
The top 5 of reasons that you could give to get out of a call that you don't really want to be in. However, this week, thanks to you, stacks up like this. At 5, I've got another call coming in. I'm going to have to go. At 4, hang up and say you lost signal. At 3, say you're going for a wee and you'll ring them back. At 2, use the situation. If you're out, if you're at work, or if you're at home, make up a suitable excuse around that situation. And the best excuse to get out of a call you don't really want to be in, don't stop. Start making your excuses. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye, and hang up. Just don't stop when you're making your excuses.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Podcast.
Morning, 9 minutes to 8 o'clock. Mark Denholm on Atom Radio, loud across the net and banging out the anthems. Do you know, I spotted something yesterday. Yesterday we were doing our top 5 of reasons to get somebody off the phone, and I spotted something yesterday, and then I totally nutly forgot about it later in the show. And that was a tweet that said yesterday, smelling but not eating apples can help you lose weight. I'm willing to bet that smelling but not eating chocolate cake can also help you to lose weight. Smelling but not eating biscuits can also help you to lose weight. I think that may be, in fact, the stupidest tweet that was posted yesterday, if I'm honest.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Morning, Gareth. Gareth says, morning, Mark. Listening to you today from Cardiff. Oh, Bodada. I can't believe you played Chumbawamba Top Man. Not heard that for ages. See, we are, Gareth, the home of the anthems, and we aim to please.
This is Mark Denholm
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
I hope that I find you well as you head out on Wednesday's school run, and I hope that you are waiting for Dire Straits and So Far Away, because it is on next. Today, however, in a conversation yesterday with my friend Steve Lee, aka Silky Smooth Steve, the words, "They don't make them like they used to," fell from my mouth. And it is a stereotypical saying that happens in and around Britain on a daily basis. I bet it'll be said millions of times today. They don't make them like they used to. I want to know, though, today, in your humble opinion, or even not so humble opinion, what don't they make like they used to? On air at atomradio.co.uk. Now, this from Mick. Morning to you, Mick. Came in before 8 o'clock, but I couldn't squeeze it in because it would have meant dropping either Chumbawamba or Phil Collins. So therefore, Mick, I apologise for keeping you waiting, but this is worth the wait. I asked today, what things don't they make like they used to? And Mick says, people. People now are offended by everything. People have no sense of humour. And I think the world is a sadder place because they don't make people like they used to. And that, Mick, when you stop and you think about it, which I have had a little chance to do, having first read your email about 15-20 minutes ago now, I've had a little think about this, and I think you probably are right. They do not make people like they used to. People have no hardiness anymore, do they? There's, everything is offensive, and yeah, you're right, Mick. You are spot on right. Have a lush Wednesday, Mick, and thank you for your email.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Podcast.
Morning. Mark Denholm on Atom Radio. Welcome to Thursday. There's a new website that has been set up. It builds on the success of OnlyFans, but instead of younger people, it's elderly women teaching you how to sew, how to knit, how to quilt, and some solid recipes as well. And you can join it anytime you want at Only Grands. Yeah, I found that yesterday. It's not brilliant, is it?
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Today, though, more and more supermarkets are rationing fruit and veg following some bad weather and apparent shortages of tomatoes, among other things. And therefore, when you go into certain supermarkets now, they are rationing them. And I want to know, therefore, because it doesn't bother me. You can ration all you like on the fruit and veg, because I don't eat fruit and veg. I'm not going to eat salad and that, so therefore, I just don't mind whatever you do with them. I would like to know, though, today, what is it that if it were rationed, it would be an annoyance to you? On air at atomradio.co.uk this Thursday morning. And now this has got much, much deeper than I thought it would. I was thinking, we'd get like some fairly comical and silly answers, but this has got much deeper than I thought it would. And obviously, there is a more intelligent class of person listening to this show than I thought. Morning, Shelley. Happy Thursday to you. Shelley says, are we about to have our freedoms rationed following yesterday's talks with David Cameron and Tony Blair about the introduction of digital ID? Wow. Now that is very, very in deep for this show and for this time of the morning as well. The digital ID would basically carry your driver's license and your national insurance card and your right to work status and all that. And it would basically be, I don't know, there's all sorts of possibilities, aren't there? When you think of this, Shelley, already, like some places are going cashless, which means they can tell from your card, when you pay by card, your movements and that. And then, if they introduce digital ID, is it tracking or is it not? Could it ration your freedom or not? Especially in the event of another lockdown. I don't know, Shelley. This has got much, much deeper than I thought it would. Thank you so much for your email, and let's hope that digital ID remains nothing more than a pipe dream, eh? Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
Podcast.
Lack of sleep can cause you to gain weight of 2 pounds in under a week. On the bright side, though, if you do get a lack of sleep and you gain 2 pounds in under a week, just smell and don't eat an apple and it'll all disappear again. We found that out earlier in the week. Don't really know that I agree with either of them, if I am entirely honest.
This is Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Home of the anthems all day long. This is Atom Radio, online, on mobile, on smart speaker. We're being told to buy turnips instead of tomatoes to beat the vegetable shortages. What if you don't like turnips? I would suggest just buy extra chips. That'll do. And I know that they're potatoes, but yeah, just buy extra chips, oven chips, and you'll be fine.
Mark Denham at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
It's Friday, baby. The weekend is incoming, and it could be happy days if you use ChatGPT or any other AI bot to your advantage. A man drove through Gatwick, the drop-off zone, and got fined £100. He appealed it, getting ChatGPT, which is artificial intelligence, to write out his appeal, and he won. He got his fine reduced to £15, saving him 85 quid. And therefore today I have thrown out the tidbit. If you could use artificial intelligence to write anything for you, what would it be? Morning, Justin. Happy Friday to you, or maybe not, depending on the what you've written in here. Justin says, I've been trying online dating for a little while now, and with no success. Maybe it's because I'm not interesting enough. Maybe it's because my hobbies aren't interesting enough. And maybe, therefore, I should turn to AI to write my dating profile for me, and then perhaps I'd get a little bit more action on the dating site. And when I say a little bit more, nobody has swiped at all as yet, so I'm hoping that AI could at least get me one swipe. Well, Justin, based on your record to date, hopefully you'd get one swipe, and that would be an improvement.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
Podcast.
Now, I'm thinking on that, using AI to your advantage for dating. I think I'd probably have to get it to draw me a picture as well as write my bio, because, well, let's be honest, none of us are getting any younger, are we? So I'd get it to maybe perhaps at least airbrush my photo. But then again, I'm not in favour of that. If you are on any dating site, I'm not in favour of those hideously filtered photos, obviously filtered photos, because let's be honest, like if you go on a date with someone and it goes well, obviously you're going to see them when you meet them, but you're never ever going to wake up next to a filtered them, are you? No. You see, I'm not really in favour of filtered photos on the old dating. So no, maybe get it to write the bio and just use your own photo. Thank you so much for checking out episode 210 of the Best Bits podcast. Like it, you can check out the show Monday to Friday, 6 until 10, and you can listen on our website, atomradio.co.uk. Ask your smart speaker to play Atom Radio via TuneIn. You can also listen on your mobile phone as well via the Stream Wrap online radio box and the TuneIn app as well.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
Podcast.